Wrong.
Well, I was thinking, this lady's from New York.
Uh-huh.
Where's your New York accent?
Hey,
New York accent.
is there something wrong?
There's
Something wrong here, bro?
Something wrong here.
What are you doing over here?
Meatballs!
Yeah. You ain't got...
Mulberry Street.
What are you doing on the stock exchange?
Hey, Statue of Liberty.
You ever heard of it? It's a slice of pizza.
9/11.
Right?
You can name
Where were you?
Never forget.
You can name a black hole now after somebody who sucks. That's pretty cool. You know, you got to always ratchet it up, kind of these revenge pranks. Used to be, maybe you could still send a poop to someone. There's a company that will send a poop.
My ex-girlfriend sent me
A poop?
cardboard penis in the mail.
To while you were still dating or when she was your
After
ex?
I broke up with her, she
sent you a cardboard penis. Was that an inside joke?
Well, she sent it here. I think it's still in the office.
Oh, yeah?
To say you're, what, a penis?
Yeah,
That your genitalia felt corrugated the entire time that we were together?
it's my specialty.
It's not as easy to break it down and bend it in half as it looks, ladies. International...
Corrugated for her pleasure.
That's right. International Black Hole Registry. You can name a black hole. You know, now that we've got... Obviously, we don't have the furthest reaches of space mapped or anything. But we've seen those in the same week that we've seen those amazing images from the Webb telescope. The timing's perfect to name a black hole after someone that you don't like. It's only $10. It'll have the person's name. It'll have the coordinates for that black hole, right? A little personalized message. Something that you can send to that person to let them know. If you're one of those people who, one of the 4 people who's not letting everybody know how you feel at any given time, you can send this to someone to let them know that
attacked.
to let them know that you don't think too much of them. That you think they're a negative Nelly or something. I don't know. $10 to name a black hole after someone or something. Maybe we could get the Alan Cox Show black hole up in this piece. Who knows? Guardians are set to play tonight, 7:10. They're going to close the series against the Chicago White Sox. 3 or 4 Major League Baseball managers have already been fired this season, and unbelievably, none of them have been Tony La Russa. I don't know. He's got pictures of Jerry Reinsdorf somewhere. I don't know. Out of all the skippers I thought would have been gone by now, Tony La Russa would have been at the top of that list. He was never a good pick to bring back anyway. But there we are. So tonight, the 4th of 4, the Guardians and White Sox. And then the Tigers will come to town for the weekend. And then the Guardians will go to Chicago to play the White Sox next week. But we're getting to, before you know it, it's going to be the end of the regular season. And then before you know it, it's going to be the Guardians winning the World Series.
That's right.
Let's not put too fine a point on it. They'll close the regular season against the Kansas City Royals first week of October. And then, by that time...
Hey, they're guaranteed to play some October baseball. That's pretty special.
That's right. October ball. And there's no finer time. You could make the case. I went to the Guardians game last night, decked out in my Sox finest. Mm-hmm. I'm not a jersey guy, so I wore my hat.
Yeah, you're from New York. That's why you're a Jersey guy.
Jersey.
Hey,
Come
you
on
think I'm
now.
from Jersey?
Get out of here.
cab
We
drivers.
should just do the whole show this way. People would love it.
Billy Joel.
It's the Big Apple.
Hey.
City that never sleeps.
Never
am I
sleeps. Empire State Building.
right? Just name
The Bronx Bombers.
Hey, come on. Far Rockaway.
Yeah. Central
Central
Park.
Central Park.
The Mineola Mall.
Hey, hot dog carts, am I right? You ever heard of one? No, you haven't.
Alec Baldwin's house. Just the most random New York stuff. Hey, Lower East Side, am I right? Hey, I went to the game last night. Bill's going tonight. I mean, it's pouring right now, but we'll get all this bad weather out of the way.
Should be still on later. Maybe a little bit of a delay.
Yep, and then come 7:10 tonight when that game starts, you could make a case for this being the best time to go see a ball game. But there's still also, for my money, there's nothing like fall baseball. Love going to the park when it gets a little crisp, when it requires a little bit of effort to be at the ballpark when it's a little chilly, right? Mm-hmm. Summertime, you can sit there, one hand in your pants, the other one holding the beer, and have a high old time.
Why would your hand be in your pants?
What's that? No, your hand isn't in my pants.
But why is your hand in your pants?
Because I like my hand in my pants.
If your hand wasn't in your pants, you'd know where your seats were.
Hey, it is the wrong seat.
These aren't your seats.
These aren't your seats.
Here at Citi Field.
Yankees.
Hey, Joe DiMaggio.
Cheetah.
Broadway. Guy dressed up like Spider-Man. Come on.
Unlicensed mascots. It's Times Square.
Alan, you guys actually find baseball interesting, or is it just sponsorship stuff? I don't know what that means, but yeah, I like baseball.
I like baseball.
I'm not sponsored by I'm not sponsored by anyone in the baseball thing.
Yeah.
But no, I like baseball. I'm a fan. Is Tony La Russa from Wakarusa? Do you know anything about Wakarusa? I've heard it's an interesting city. Hey, Wakarusa, Indiana. I got an uncle that lives there. I live in New York. He lives in Indiana.
He got a little Bessie story for you.
Alan Cox Show After Hours line. Anytime you want to call, leave a message, you can. 216-986-8903.
Hey, so it turns out Dave Yost is full of it because a detective confirmed there's an arrest made in that case of the 10-year-old girl that had to go to Indiana for the abortion. I know it's probably not going to change anyone's mind at this point, but I just wanted to reiterate that Dave Yost is a lying sack of crap.
Hey, Dave Yost a liar! Bring that little girl to New York!
I don't think Dave Yost was lying. I'm not tagging him on that. Dave Yost was casting doubt on the fact that that story had one single source and that nobody would corroborate it. And he was saying, like, look, we can't do anything. There's no information. So in his slight defense, but that it did in fact happen. The Columbus Dispatch, one of their reporters for that newspaper, had tweeted earlier that she was the only reporter in the courtroom. That's how little interest there was once this story was proven to be true. They arrested a guy from Columbus and have charged him with multiple counts of rape against this 10-year-old girl, 27-year-old guy who lived on the northwest side of Columbus. And he's been charged with impregnating a 10-year-old girl from Ohio. Had to go to Indiana to get an abortion. But a lot of people were casting doubt on the story for what I think are legitimate reasons. They're like, look, one doctor said that this happened. And it's such a contentious issue right now that the last thing you want is for people to be making up stories like this. I think everyone to a person would have been much happier had it been a fake story. But they got a referral through the Franklin County Children's Services in Columbus, Franklin County here, and then a detective has since testified. DNA from the clinic in Indianapolis confirmed to the guy that they've got under arrest, I believe. $2 million bond for the guy. Gershon Fuentes of Columbus, Ohio. I don't know the circumstances around him being here with her. I don't know what they said, that they obviously consider the guy a flight risk.
Man, that's so gross.
Yeah, it's a really, really gross story. Unfortunately true. But over the last couple of days, there was a lot of... I was surprised that there was arguing back and forth on that story. I think the Fox News types were saying that it was some, made up liberal hoax. It's not. And again, even if it turned out to be false, these kinds of cases will happen. There's no way around that. I've said it before, the number one cause of death for pregnant women is homicide. And so once you take abortion or you take that control of the situation away, it will lead to more pregnant women being killed. That's not an extreme case. That's not hyperbolic to say that. All Dave Yost had said was that he hadn't heard anything about a report being filed, which is not a lie. He's going by what he's got to go on, but sexual assault cases are famously underreported. So you can't really, anyway. It did turn out to be. So there's a lot of I told you so going on, and that's gross too, because it's still a 10-year-old girl who had to go to Indiana. I was reading about a doctor who's trying to put a floating abortion clinic out in international waters. Taking Roe and Wade, very literally, this guy, out there so that they can avoid any kind of bans here in the United States. Trying to have a floating clinic in the Gulf of Mexico. A woman named Meg Autry, who is an OBGYN at UC San Francisco, is crowdfunding an offshore abortion clinic in the Gulf of Mexico, which, I'm sure there'll be all kinds of arguments over whether or not this is even something you could do. I don't know maritime law, so I don't know. Could you have a floating abortion clinic?
Well, according to fish law, yes.
That's where I was going with this.
I know that you can.
I know that you might not be
Roe and Roe v. Wade.
as
Yes.
as a fish detective. I would expect you to be up on. Hold on, let me do this properly. As a fish detective, I would expect you to be up on all manner of maritime and fish law. However, I'm going to go and assume that you are not an expert in fish abortions.
Well, fish
And that's the other half of this equation.
The thing about fish is that they have so many eggs that they can't really pick and choose. Some of them will naturally be aborted, but it's not illegal in fish law.
What is illegal in fish law? Is noodling illegal in fish law?
Yes, fish cannot noodle other fishes. Mainly because they don't have arms.
Fish can't put his fin down another fish's mouth and make something happen?
Hope it bites.
So this woman and her team say that they think that they're pretty confident that there's enough international water or federal water or something to provide abortions out on this, help reproductive services scow. I don't know what they're going to call it. They better come up with a catchy name, boy. Better come up with a catchy name. Doesn't matter what the situation is. People love a catchy name. A mnemonic device, something that'll help them to remember, But imagine if all of these states, these red states that can't wait to pull the trigger on this stuff, are flummoxed by a floating abortion clinic out there in the waters.
See you later, SEA.
See you next Tuesday for your appointment out here at... for women in southern states with abortion bans, going to the coast and boarding a boat would be a lot easier. Just imagine a guy, if this thing comes to fruition, imagine a guy who owns like a boat taxi service.
Yeah.
Oh.
Captain Hook.
No, that's the doctor at the...
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... anyway, she's trying to figure this whole situation out there.
Could they do that on Lake Erie?
I don't know.
I thought it had to be like, are there law? I don't know.
Are there international waters between...
No.
Well, between Canada, yeah. Lake Erie touches Canada.
No, it does. I'm just saying I'm sure that there's laws for the Canada side and there's laws for this side. And there's probably no...
Side.
There's got to be a little...
But I don't know that there's any neutral area in there is what I'm saying.
Alan, Johnny on the spot here in Cleveland Heights. I know it was a couple days ago, but talking about beaches and how dirty they are around here. I grew up here, then moved to Florida and learned to surf, and moved back here, and I need to surf. So I check the surf reports all the time. On the National Surf Report, surfline.com, Mary's Beach, it is literally called Pinched Loaf / Edgewater. So, yeah, I don't surf there. I'll go through Euclid. All right. Hate the show. See, brah.
Hate the show, brah.
Whatever.
Bye, brah. Oh.
No one wants you to surf on our beaches anyway. Bruh.
Cleveland has a very vibrant surfing community, Mary. How dare you
I'm just
besmirch
talking to
those
this guy.
people. Huh?
I'm specifically talking about that guy. Not all surfers. Beach Erie welcomes surfers.
Beach Erie?
Beach Erie?
Yes.
How dare you?
Yeah, but this guy is like, I don't want to surf at a place that is colloquially called Pinched Loaf.
Listen.
Like skiing at Sugarloaf. That sounds nice, right? Lemon Loaf. If I go into, if my wife goes into our local mom and pop coffee shop, right? Gets herself a little cold brew. She'll come home and say, I got you a piece of lemon loaf.
Best day ever.
And I'm so happy. They're too big. I'll have a little bit of it. But that just means more for later on. So I'm 2-0 already. Sugarloaf.
Will you ever get to the rest of it?
Yeah.
Because you're not a leftovers guy, so you'll go back to a loaf.
But I do like my sweets. So I need to, yeah. If there's ever a leftover I'll get to, it'll be
a cookie
sweets.
or something. Yeah. A loaf.
A loaf.
A sweet loaf. He likes a sweet loaf.
So there's a lemon loaf, but a pinched loaf.
Listen, that could just be improperly stored. Someone grabbed it a little too hard.
No. This
A
beach.
pinched loaf is a poop.
Oh.
They're like, this beach is called Pinched Loaf because it's so gross.
I thought that was like when you break bread at an Italian restaurant. They just give you the big circle of bread. You have to pinch the loaf.
No, you have
and
to
then
twist
dip it in the
loaf.
oil. And then dip it in the oil.
You twist the loaf.
I don't think that's right.
Now, if you go to the bathroom and you look in the bowl, as so many people are trying to convince me is so popular of a... If you look in the bowl...
98% of people look in the bowl.
All right. If you take you go to the bathroom and then you look in the bowl, and it looks like a loaf of restaurant bread, you're gonna want to have a conversation.
Call someone.
Yeah,
Depends on
I
the
would call
color,
someone.
yeah, I mean,
Pumpernickel.
that's what you're going for.
Right.
Pumpernickel.
Maybe a nice kerosene.
Oh,
caraway
a
seed
kerosene bread.
Kerosene rye, baby.
Yeah, caraway seeds in your rye.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the way it smells.
408.
I was still thinking about poop, so that really threw me off.
All right, like Slyman's, right? Don't they have like rye bread over there?
Yeah, that's what a Reuben comes on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Traditionally speaking.
Okay.
Or a patty melt also will come on a rye
panty
bread.
melt.
You can do a panty melt with your panty pudding.
Pan pudding melt.
Did you give Jeremiah a word to throw in today?
Not today.
Okay.
Probably do it like once a week.
Well, it sounded like they were
every
coming
day.
pretty fast and furious for a while. Jeremiah's next door at Kiss FM, and he's
done
been
it
asking.
twice.
He's been enlisting Bill to give him random words or phrases so that then he can surreptitiously work them in next door, and that Kiss audience will be none the wiser.
Did you see the one he did yesterday? The way he worked it in?
I haven't seen
Clever.
any of them. I only know because you
It's
told
on-
me.
It's on my Instagram at Bill Squire. It's pretty clever, I think. I think he did a good job with it.
You gave him what, panty pudding?
Yesterday was panty pudding.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what was the other one you gave him?
That last week I did possum tail.
They all have to be peas?
No,
Oh.
Peas are funny.
Pea centric. You got to pop your peas.
I guess I'm just now noticing. Yeah, there
All
are
right.
P words, but one.
Understood. Well, I'll get on there and I'll look.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Okay, let me take a break here. I'll have another $1,000 for you to win closer to 4:30, so be sure you're listening for those keywords to go fuel yourself. If you want to go to the Outlaw Music Festival, and quite frankly, if you're a red-blooded American, why the hell wouldn't you want to? Willie Nelson, ZZ Top, Government Mule, Larkin Poe, and I think more, but those are your bright spots there. It's going to happen